1010wins. Everybody share. YouTube.com/1010wins. I feel like I'm mic'd. The projector's good there.
That was good.
And you can vote at 1010wins.com/challenge. Right? Right, Paul? You gotta help me out.
I'm counting it. Votes are coming in, so.
There we go. Votes are coming in.
Desmond, how's those votes?
.com/challenge.
Type right now.
1010wins.com/challenge to vote.
Hi, Desmond. How you doing? Good. Mets fan or Yankees fan? Okay, sorry about that.
We good? Christian, we're waiting on you, my friend. Technology.
That's where I could break out the guitar and we could do the Justin Bieber songs. Get ready for our viral moment. Good evening, and welcome to the 1010 Wins Canon Maxify Printers Small Business Grant Challenge. I'm your host this evening, Ben Meverak. Tonight, you will see 9 small business owners compete for a $10,000 prize, and you'll be able to vote for the person you think should be the winner. Our judges' decision will be final, however, and will be made at the end of the competition tonight. So just a couple of rules. Contestants will have 90 seconds to make their pitch, followed by up to 3.5 minutes of questions from our judges. All right, so let's get started. Remember, you can vote throughout the evening, and let's get ourselves started. First up is the Acceleration Project, a consulting firm dedicated to providing strategic advice to small businesses and entrepreneurs.
I started TAP because I saw a problem, and the problem was that there were these fabulous businesses struggling to compete against the internet, big box stores, and I knew we had a solution because I worked with these unbelievably talented people who had skills and talents that they could then lend to these businesses.
I think most TAP consultants approach projects with the enthusiasm of someone who's just starting their career, but with the foundation and skill set of a seasoned professional, so it's a unique combination.
TAP has such an incredible network of women that really support each other and bring each other up and help you realize, I do have it. I have what it takes. I'm really bright and I can get things done. And I have this great team behind me. And I think that's something that not everybody really understands, but it's incredibly powerful to the women of TAP.
What we're finding is that we complete a project with a business and they want more. They want a second project. They want us to help them implement. They want to sign up again. They know we are the best value going. We're talented. We're getting the job done.
This is something where I can use all that I had worked to create within myself to have an impact on my community and help these small businesses become thriving enterprises.
I'm a previous 1010 Wins Small Business Grand Challenge winner. And TAP has really helped me narrowing down the benefits from my product to the baby. It's really different from standard baby bottles, so communicating that difference is really important for Baby Lab, and they're doing a fantastic job into helping me narrowing down everything, from the packaging to the marketing that goes out there, social media, everything.
The immediate concept was to take this pool of women, this talent pool that really, had talked about as like a brain drain, people having left their big jobs because it's super hard to juggle everything, and to redeploy that talent in a way that goes right back into the economy, because it pains me to see this pool of talent not being used. And we are at capacity. We have more than enough demand, and so now we need to continue to build our infrastructure.
Go set.
Hi, I'm Jane Barron, CEO of Acceleration Project.
We've all seen it. Small businesses fighting to survive, Main Street plastered with vacancy signs. Many are the underserved, minority, and women-owned businesses. The result? Weakened local economies. We're losing community, innovation, and jobs right here in New York. That's where TAP comes in. We saw the untapped resource, the tremendous pool of local talent, women who left their fast-paced careers. They have the skills these businesses definitely need. We built a consulting model that cracked the code on converting volunteer expertise into high-quality, affordable business advice. Last year, TAP was named Outstanding Advocate for Small Business for our reach to hundreds of clients in our area. Over the past 18 months, we've doubled in size, and now we are poised to expand throughout the tri-state, but we must build our infrastructure. Your $10,000 grant would fund a part-time program manager with 4 distinct responsibilities: screening applicants, overseeing service delivery, capturing metrics, and devising a system to serve clients remotely. We're proud of our results. Our clients repeatedly tell us we exceed expectations. From double-digit sales growth to streamlined financial management, our impact is palpable, and our clients say they couldn't do it without us. Giving to our nonprofit is giving directly to small business. It's the best return on your investment.
Very well done.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you, Jane. Anyone have a microphone?
Hopefully I do. Yes, thank you so much for that, Jane.
Oh, my pleasure.
Good work. So how does TAP differentiate itself from, say, a city-run small business development center?
What TAP is truly unique because TAP is able to harness talent of currently working part-time or full-time professionals, and we have rigorous screening, rigorous training, and significant oversight so that we are customizing the work we do, and so that we are on site with business owners, and we completely understand, we diagnose their problem, and we deploy teams of people to address whatever their business issue might be. Very often, or most of the time, there are financial management issues, as well as marketing, branding, operations.
Congratulations, great presentation. Love the enthusiasm and love the cause.
It's a great cause.
As a banker, can you tell me a little bit about cash flow? I understand you are a nonprofit,
Right.
but are your services free?
Right.
And if not, how do you price it in a way that can meet
Right.
the market?
So number one, we structure as a nonprofit, and that is essential because small businesses and entrepreneurs absolutely cannot pay for this kind of quality advice. So we fundraise to support our infrastructure. We are exceedingly lean. We built this organization. We're now about to have 60 consultants on the back of volunteers and in-kind donations. We have our first paid employee 4 months ago. I don't like to spend any money, and the money I spend goes directly to program management, to ensuring that when we take on a project, we know exactly what we're going to deliver. And that requires constant daily oversight. And that's why we need to pay for our infrastructure. Because we have flexible talent. And our talent means that we have this huge body of people, and we need to deploy them effectively.
Dean?
Yeah, I love the idea, and in all the things that you're doing for small business, minority-owned, and so on. I was a consultant for about 20 years before I went back into academics, and I'm just looking to make it sustainable. How do you fundraise? Do you charge the clients anything?
Yes. So
how does that work?
Yes. So we have a sliding scale. We believe you have to have skin in the game. But the fees are so below market. But we absolutely can scale because we have with a strong management team that are paid employees, we can deploy hundreds of consultants because we've institutionalized our training. We leverage technology, so it's easy to scale. But we are rigorous at screening applicants on both the consultant and client side. So we make sure we are matching business need with business talent.
What is your budget now?
So our budget is $80,000, primarily human capital.
Well, thank you very much.
And donations in kind are great for us, like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
And that phone number is?
Are you getting rid of me? Okay.
What's that website? Great.
We must get rid of you.
Oh, but I like being here.
We want you to continue doing some great work, so thank you very much.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
having us.
much.
I really appreciate it.
Pleasure. Have a good.
Put down-
Yeah, I'll take care of it. Okay, thank you.
Ben, before
Okay.
we begin the, introduce the next group, I just want to quickly introduce the judges. Majora Carter to my left, who heads up the Majora Carter Group. Dean Maganelli of Mercy College, and Daniel Delahunty of BNB.
Very good, thank you. All right, up next is Spaces, the best way to find parking garages in the city. Don't park, find a space.
We came up with Spaces. It kind of was a winding path a little bit. Our background is in solar. We started a solar energy company and we built large-scale utility plants in emerging markets. And through that, we really developed a love for sustainability.
It's very, very important to focus on sustainability and urban sustainability. Because if we don't, we are going to be, a city like New Delhi or Beijing or Shanghai, where, yeah, there are wonderful buildings, but there's a huge amount of pollution. We are also very proud to be a, New York born and New York raised company, you can say, We are a team of New Yorkers, and people talk about technology and, Silicon Valley. I think that we are a technology company in New York, and we are women-led, women-owned company. And I think that's unique in the technology space as well.
What we liked about the parking sector is when we started to look into it, we realized that, first of all, it's very underserved, and second of all, nobody was kind of looking at it with this holistic lens, and that simple solution just didn't exist.
And this is a huge industry. I mean, you're talking about, according to IPI, the International Parking Institute, a $30 billion industry just in the US, a $100 billion industry worldwide.
As far as competition, we think there are other people in the space, but nobody directly doing what we do. There are lots of parking apps, and actually that's the first thing people say when they hear about Spaces is, oh, there's so many people doing parking. I don't want to hear about another parking app. And the first thing people need to understand about Spaces is we are not just an app. That's a consumer component to our business, but we're really a vertical market software solution that's addressing the whole parking ecosystem.
You cannot think of the consumer separate from the garage operator. You must, if you want to win, you must create a win-win for the garage operator and for the consumer. And that's what Spaces is focused on.
Followed closely by parking.
We are simple people, and we wanted to develop a simple solution to this problem. So when we started understanding the perspective of the drivers, what options do we have, we realized there are a few people doing coupons, few people doing reservations, but the process is very disjointed. We also understood as we dug deeper from the garage operator and garage owner perspective that there's a lack of data, lack of analytics, and they are also wanting solutions. Look, today you can book an airline seat, a hotel room, a car, food from your smartphone. And so we said, why shouldn't we parking that easy? What we realized is the parking operators and owners are lacking the real-time data and business intelligence that's preventing them from making those important decisions and winning a happy client.
So, taking the entire ecosystem into consideration, we built Spaces for consumers, an app that allows them to find and pay for parking from their phone on demand No coupons, no reservations. We load all the discounts in for you, so you always get the best price. For garages, that real-time data solution that they need to optimize their business. And we would use this $10,000 to install our tech across New York City.
Thank you very much. Thanks for that pitch. Daniel, you haven't had any parking problems in years, so why don't you start us off?
I love the husband and wife team. That's awesome. I love the focus on simplicity. So two quick things. What stage are you in? Are you in beta testing, or is anybody using it right now?
We are live in Europe.
Right. And then secondly, how do you make money? Is it really on selling to the garages? Is it direct to ads?
We get a license. We get a license fee from the garages for our vertical market software, and we also get a commission and fees from the garages for every consumer that's using our app.
Which one are you more optimistic about in terms of driving your cash?
Both. I think the ecosystem has to be the main focus. You cannot pick one over the other, and I think our focus is really focusing on the ecosystem and creating a win-win for the garages and win-win for the consumer.
How are you? You mentioned the fact that there's other apps there. How do you differentiate yourselves in terms of that market that's gotten bigger?
So the other apps, like we kind of touched on, are very consumer focused, and they are not paying attention to the actual parking side of the infrastructure. There are even some street parking apps, but the street parking has not been done properly yet, and nobody's even tried to touch the garage side. And like Shore mentioned before, when you connect the consumer and the product, that's where you can really optimize the experience on both ends. So there's no other app that kind of closes the loop, and they're all very consumer focused.
And to add to Allison, we are the only app that allows you to do a transaction from end to end, cashlessly, seamlessly, and on demand. Every other app out there, you're buying a coupon or you're making a reservation. Life in New York is by the New York minute. Your life changes every minute. You get a phone call, your meeting schedule changes. You can't be locked onto a parking reservation. It should be at your behest, and that's what we have built.
Sure.
Thank you so much. And because this is such an important thing, because we know how much pollution is generated just from people running around looking for, or driving around looking for spaces.
Exactly.
But this is a technology solution. It seems like consumer and on the garage side as well. But did you say, where's your beta? Where did you work it out?
New York.
New York.
And so it's already
It's already live in New York.
Okay, so how did you connect? How many garages did you work with?
So we're installed in over 100 garages, and we have about a 550 garage order book, and that's what we're looking to fill.
With the $10,000, we want to roll out our technology to a lot more garages in New York City.
Are you guys making money yet?
Yes.
You're making money, yes. Thank God.
Little by little.
Who's the boss?
She is.
Just
I told him to say that.
Just checking.
I'm well taught. 10 years of marriage, man. You know.
Well, thank you very much for coming in, and great
Thank you so
video.
much.
Thank you
Appreciate all
very
you're doing
much.
for New York. Thank you.
Very well done. All right, please welcome our next business into the theater. Just Green, the Brooklyn-based quick service food vendor, offers farm-to-street health food.
So with Just Green, I want to take street vending to this century and beyond by adding technology, something that I feel is missing from the street vending industry, and incorporate that into everything. As far as technology that'll be incorporated, I would love to have my Just Green mobile kiosk conceptualized and designed, and that's going to be like a fully eco-friendly, human-powered vehicle and actual sort of mini kitchen and vending machine that's able to be transported around the city from place to place if need be, or be stationary in one spot. So once we have an app and a full website, you'll be able to go online or on your mobile device, say, hey, Just Green is a couple of corners away, or at this park, or wherever we're located. You can find out what we have on our menu, place an order, and receive a message back letting you know what locker your food's inside of and the time it'll be ready for you to come pick it up. You're able to come by, expedite your service, grab your meal, go and enjoy. My grandmother really was like my master chef. She imparted so much upon me, her skills, and most definitely the extra, that one extra ingredient that makes every dish amazing, which is love she made sure that when she cooked with her heart. A lot of my family are diabetic and have hypertension and all these different things that come from a diet. And I would love to be able to address that. And Just Green is my way to address that in sort of, I guess, like a broken down way. I want food that's better for you to be fun. I don't want there to be a stigma. I don't want people to consider any type of food a diet food. And that's sort of kind of where I'm at with Just Green, and adding science and tech and just throwing things together based off of like the chemical makeup of the actual food and flavors that align with each other, and trying to really make clever ways to introduce food to people in a different way that's lighter but still packed with flavor. I don't cook for myself much. I enjoy more preparing food for others and seeing them actually eat and enjoy and laugh and smile and commune with each other like humans should do every day, all day. Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Vander Carter, chef owner of Just Green. And basically, Just Green is sort of a culmination of my life and all the experiences that I've had as a chef from Miami to New York. Basically, Just Green combines fun, fresh environment, health, and adventure, targeting those who are out there seeking a more conscious food that's locally sourced, that's seasonal, and that you could actually get on the go. Like, where do you actually find food that's really gonna benefit you in a pinch? Nowhere. That's where Just Green comes in. And we offer our premium homemade greenery juices and snacks, which inspire a difference and give our users the power to live and eat a greener lifestyle deliciously. Around the world, street food is vibrant, social, it's diverse, and the Just Green menu embraces the diversity of food, people, cultures, ethnicities, and of life. The menu it contains sort of like it's a food format. So we have bun, noodle, and wrap. And the menu will always be bun, noodle, and wrap, but it will change 5 times a year to keep up with the season. So the different additions to those actual bases will be the only things that change to keep things really simple, being a food business that wants to be on the sidewalk. Also have our fresh juices, which you have there, which aren't like a typical juice that's a bunch of green stuff inside of a cup. My juices are cut with lemonade and iced tea to give everybody that feel of something that they can remember. And I'm gonna use the money to get the kiosk.
Dean, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah. What is your what's your plan going forward in terms of what do you see in a year, 2 years that you're going to be, size, locations, and so on?
Got it. So basically with the $10,000 prize, what we're going to do is we have a company on board that's going to design the Just Green kiosk so that we can actually get that fabricated, and they also can build it. So my timeline is I would love to have this thing out on the streets for next April for outdoor season, and they're able to do that. But basically, the money is going to fund the CAD development, the modeling, concept design, and actually the cost model, so we can figure out how much the units are actually going to cost to be built. I hope I answered your question there.
So to go a little bit further, I love the cause, I love the focus on healthy. Help me understand who your customer is, because I love the prototype that I saw.
Mm-hmm.
Is it for other vendors to use your prototype, or are you going to do it all?
Right now, the idea is I would like to own everything that I can, so it'll be mine. I'll own that prototype, but eventually down the line, it's something that could have intellectual properties and possibly be licensed to other vendors as one of the only really truly eco-food models. And my actual unit will be transported around the city by a human-powered bicycle, and the unit itself is designed to be lightweight and really accommodate the basic things that one of those halal stalls has inside, but just something that's really clean. You can see inside, you can see it's fresh, you can see us making the food items, actually placing them into the distribution unit that'll be attached to the machine, and you just want to incorporate that human element to something that we're bringing to the future.
And this quickly, have you done any financial projections yet on this?
I've been at this for about 3 years now, and as far as cost modeling for what it's going to cost to get the unit actually made, Pixel and Timber, who's going to be designing this unit, we're estimating that it's going to cost about $25,000. We want to keep it to the same price that, you know, a typical street vending is anywhere between $1 and $150,000. So trying to find that median ground where we can really reproduce this thing and have more. I would love to franchise this and micro franchise. I don't want to sell out, but I want to franchise this within myself and my company and expand and have more kiosks available to bring around.
Rashard, you got the final word.
So each unit is $25,000.
As of right now, that cost is undefined. If you guys give me this prize and I can pay Pixel and Timber to do the actual work that needs to be done to figure out how much this costs, right now we're projecting $25,000.
That's the final word, unless you have a follow-up?
Yes,
Or one.
quick
Go
follow-up.
ahead.
So is the idea, so you don't necessarily want a franchise, but you do see this as scaling, and so you've done
Yes.
the projections to make sure that that can, and how quickly do you think you can do that?
If everything can go right, I believe after about 6 months, I can open up a new finance and own another unit that we can put out on the streets.
This is great. Thank you very much. And
very
what was I drinking?
You have Just Green Lemonade. That is a combination of mint, parsley, broccoli, spinach, apples, carrots, organic lemons, and water.
Where's the chocolate?
And the noodles were slamming.
That's
by
the
way.
cold impasta you guys have. I'm glad you
Great,
really
great
enjoyed
job.
it.
Keep at
I'm
it.
going to introduce you to Ashanti chocolate. We're going to get a little combination going. Thank you very much. Very well done. Just a reminder for those who are watching on YouTube, you can vote at any point that you want for your favorite. Up next is Pick Shoe, a jewelry store that gives back to the community.
So Peak Shoe, I named it after a mythological Chinese creature. And it is supposed to represent, you know, like all that is fair and just in the world. And it is a symbol, you know, a talisman worn for protection and to attract wealth. I started Pick Shoe originally as, you know, like a hobby. But then eventually I realized that I wanted to mean something and I wanted to contribute back to my community. I feel like I've lived the American dream in just that my immigrant parents worked really hard to give me this awesome life, like college education, first in my family, a great job. I started my own business, and part of that was a lot of hard work on everybody's part, but also, you know, we needed help from our community. There's a nonprofit that's really close to my heart called Charles B. Wang Community Health Center, and when we weren't able to afford health care, they were there to help us out. So every year, I want to help out some kind of community service or a nonprofit organization. I started realizing that there are all these talismans that people would wear for good luck or prosperity, but the younger generation felt like those are like grandma would wear those and it's like really outdated. So I wanted to create something that was a little more modern and minimal, and I could, you know, maybe reconnect people like me to a piece of their heritage and also introduce our cultural stories to a lot more people, because America's a melting pot and it's great that I can share my culture with everybody. We're here selling at Fad Market, and this is one of the examples of the local craft fairs that we've been doing for the first 2 years. So right now I'm working on a new and complete collection. It's called the Lucky Coin Collection, inspired by the ancient Chinese coin. With this complete collection, I want to go to trade shows and try to get wholesale accounts and get into brick and mortar stores. Yeah, it's the goal to expand, make it big. Hi. So my name is Ellen, and I own Peak Shoe, which is a jewelry company that tries to give back to the community. And we've been in business for less than 2 years now, with an initial investment of my own of $10,000. We've since made a revenue of over $20,000. My Instagram followers have organically grown from 0 to over 3,500, and with no actual, physical store, we've made around 700 sales with consistent 5-star ratings. And so the next step right now is to release this complete new collection, which is the Lucky Coin Collection. And as you know, it's inspired by my Chinese heritage. So with the money from the grant, $5,000 will go to completing the production costs, and then the remaining money will go to trade show fees. The projected revenue of this, of selling the initial stock, is around $50,000. And you know, if somebody at the trade show says, "I want way more than what you have right now," you know, then that'll be additional revenue. Okay. Recent times, Asian products have, you know, kind of taken the America market by storm. Things like bubble tea or Asian beauty products and green tea flavored everything. You know, so I feel like my product can succeed in this market for both the younger and older crowd. And the retail value goes anywhere from $25 to $300.
Right.
Depending on the material. So like if it's silver, then it's cheaper. If it's solid gold, then it's more expensive.
Well, thank you very much. Majora, you want to kick us off?
Yes, and your work is beautiful.
Thank you.
So I just want to put that out there. But what if someone from the trade show goes, actually, I do want to buy it all and a lot more?
Yeah. I mean, that will depend on manufacturing. I definitely have, so what is financially viable, I try to get produced locally. So I work with New York's own casting companies, and I assemble everything myself. So I'll design it, get the master made, and sent to a casting company, and a jeweler will also like polish all that stuff. But the charm for the necklace, I'll get and I'll like assemble it into a necklace, and then I design all of that stuff, the packaging as well, and I'll put it all into packaging. And if you know somebody decides to order something a lot, then that will also allow me to hire somebody else, help me out with production, and as I said, I try to keep everything local, where it financially makes sense.
Daniel?
I love the logo. I love the materials. I love the fact that you've also worked out some of the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit more about your customers and what that opportunity is. It for a B2B? Is it for just reaching additional customers online? Just talk about how you're going to reach folks and who's really your key market.
Yeah, sure. So I mean, of being the younger millennial generation, I feel like a lot of the stuff we do is online sales. And so we get a lot of attention through Instagram. And I mean, I feel like the new way of selling this stuff is have your online market and then also go to certain events, whether it's a pop-up event or certain craft fairs where you can actually interact with customers. And that way you're not spending a lot of money on rent and all that stuff. And we've been doing, like, going to the craft fairs itself is actually like marketing for us. So we get a lot of attention there, and then we get repeat customers.
Ray, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, I just want to get a sense. I'm not certain. I love the visual and the idea, but is this something that you want to be as a large business, or is this something that you're doing to honor your heritage and to do it kind of in the hobby side?
Yeah, I mean, I have a long-term dream for this, which is to reinvent the kind of like Chinese jewelry of what people think of, because right now I think there's this sense of like it being like cheap stuff that you might find in Chinatown, and I just want to like upscale that and make that into more like modern things that a lot of people would wear. So I believe in this. It's not a hobby for me, and this is the first step, and just getting this full collection out is the first step, and then from there I can get onto something else that's from our culture.
Ellen, you could feel your commitment, and good luck, and thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Very nice. And for all the people in Chinatown who have just been insulted because you called their stuff cheap, I'm going to give out your home number. Thank you very much. Up next is Hylas, the next generation of renewable energy.
If you pick any field, it doesn't have to be energy. What would it look like if you started over in that area? Everyone today would do it differently. You can use the waste that we have and improve the technology to create that energy. Then your house could technically be 100% self-sustaining. We saw that the composting relationship and the process was a little sloppy. So what could you do to kind of reduce the friction in that experience, make it cleaner, make it seamless, make it smarter. Smarter not to just add things like Bluetooth or Wi-Fi to it, but to make it more intelligent and make something that's inside your kitchen that would be invisible. One thing that we have unique to our company is that we have the imagination and we have a really unique technology. And we have the imagination, for one, to see how far into the future where this can bring us. If we start with one set of a problem, we have this food-based product here that can upcycle and recycle your waste and psychologically change your behavior in your home, where you once would throw this out and think of it as just garbage, but not understand how far this really goes and how it plays that relationship to your environment. And now you're using this food waste, and now you're creating your energy. And the second one is the technology that we stumbled across. We were reluctant to stumble across, and just how stubborn we can be about making something that that's useful as a tool. The next few months actually, we'll be working with more efficient and better manufacturers, guys that have made the help points in MTA for the MTA. I don't know if you've noticed those MTA help points in the subway. Those guys are really good at what they do. So we actually convinced them to work with us. We're going to create a mini pilot program, and we're going to be able to create 10 of those units. We can improve the system that we're using, the software that's connected to it, and just make it more of a closed system. We want to make sure people don't get them confused with your old, ugly, traditional appliance, and think of the future of what a smart composter could do for your home. Hello, everybody, and judges. My name is Sharon Hyman. I'm the founder and co-founder and CEO of Hylas. I'm here with my co-founder, Shivani Mistry. She's our CTO. She's amazing. So we're creating a smart food waste to renewable energy composter. And our product is going to be sitting inside the modern kitchen, and we want to allow families to do something about the food waste that ends up in the garbage and then ends up in the landfill. And then that's what adds up to 100 million tons of CO2 every year to our atmosphere. So we want to create something that's useful to people and that they can easily find at their store, online, or from us, and put it in their home. We've been able to work with really amazing partners and people that support us, from NYEDC to the New Lab, FutureWorks, and also manufacturers that really support what we're doing, that we've been able to convince them to work with us at such an early stage with no capital up front or equity taken out from us. And they support our strategy, and that's one of our key resources there. So with the $10,000, we really want to use it to advance our current prototype you saw in the video. We want to take it and improve the software. We want to take it, improve the hardware. We want to acquire really good industrial designers, and we want to acquire all the tools that we need to create a small batch. Oh,
You can finish. You can finish the
yeah.
Finish your thought.
Create a small batch system that we can give to early adopters. We have investors that are really interested in what we're doing. We have to really create a compelling product and a prototype that could convince them to kind of invest in us and bring this new technology to the market that doesn't exist.
Ray, why don't you kick us off?
Yeah, the idea of doing something green is wonderful and sustainable and so on, renewable energy. But I'm just not clear as to the application, the value proposition, the scalability.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's the very, very beginning, but where are you going with this?
Well, the value propositions are pretty cool. So our customer bases are usually people who are environmentally and socially conscious. So not only are they involved into their environment, they can reduce their energy bills. If you have a burner of 4 and you're using your food waste and you're creating about an hour and a half's worth of gas you can cook from, you can cut your energy bill by 50%, essentially. So that's the first one. And the second one is that environmental and social conscious aspect of everything. And also, we're creating a product at a really good price point that our competitors That's real comparable to ours. Our price points are around $1,000 to $1,500. And we also have a subscription model where if you can't pay that up front, then you could subscribe to our business and we would own the equipment. You would use it, our technology, and reap the benefits from our product.
Sure.
Wish your prototype was ready to go to Puerto Rico now, or Mexico.
Soon.
But in the
If you win the
meantime,
prize, yeah.
well, I'm sure there'll be another one, unfortunately. But what's the project budget to actually get you to prototype stage? Because it seems like this
Yeah.
$10,000 is really going to make a difference.
It is actually. We've mapped out the economics from the moment we started. So roughly about $6,000 to $7,000 is going to go directly to buying the components off the shelf and tooling up and buying our outer shell. And so we're real good researchers, so we've been able to get really good prices from our suppliers. And we'll be able to create a outer shell and make it look exactly how it is there. We have experience and enough research to program everything. We have the resources at New Lab where we are. We can talk to the smartest people and the smartest programmers that you could probably find in New York. And the access to universities around the local area that have the engineers that are really passionate to work with a company that's doing something different and new. So we have all the resources in front of us, and for the remaining capital from the prize that we would receive, we would be able to give some incentives to employees on a contract basis, maybe kind of like an independent contractor working for us, and set up some NDAs that way so we don't come across any IP issues.
Daniel?
Tell us about yourself and your partner, your own competency here, and
Yeah.
then a little bit about your competition. Does anybody have this in market yet?
So currently there is a company that exists overseas that's making this for kind of like developing regions. It's a larger unit, it's outdoors. But they're our only direct competitor right now. So the thing that differentiates us from them really is that we understand our market really, really well. And they're tackling a developing region. We want to attack this region. We think there's a large market of homeowners that necessarily don't want to buy a solar panel or a really expensive electric car, but they would purchase this at an IKEA if they're redoing their kitchen. And if they find out they could create their own energy from this really cool composter, they would. I went to college and studied international relations and business, but I didn't have a science or engineering background. So in order to educate myself, I read and found all the textbooks I could find at the library, online, YouTube, and I educated myself on everything that I know today. My co-founder did the same thing.
Well, thank you very much for coming in, and I hope they're treating you well at the Brooklyn Navy Yard.
Yeah, they're treating us great, actually.
Fantastic. That's
Yeah.
good to hear.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much. All right, next in show is Styles You Desire, a luxury mobile salon for women, men, and for children.
I think that Danielle is wonderful, and I like her concept of coming to the home and actually getting your hair done in the comfort of your own environment.
Styles You Desire started about 5 years ago. I was laid off my job, and my son was also being diagnosed, like in the middle of being diagnosed with autism. And I didn't know what else to do. I knew my bills had to get paid. I knew I needed to get out there and figure it out. I've always liked to do hair. So I decided to go back to school and get it for a trade, and it was cosmetology. It started out with just moms kind of like me who really didn't have the time because my son had me really busy on top of me trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And a lot of the moms that I did know would refer me to other moms that they knew needed the service. And I love it because it just makes me feel good. Like Clarissa said, it's reasonable, it's affordable, because it's not really about the money, it's about personal self-care. And if you can't do it, I'm the person to come and help you with that problem.
Yes, she's been helping me for a couple of months. My life has gotten so much better since she's been doing this.
So what do you want to do, curls today?
You know, my man told me that he
I know, he likes the curls.
He said, girl,
Just left to
get
go
the
away,
curls.
and I'm at a point where it's growing. I don't just do stay-at-home mom's hair. I do the working class woman, you know, that doesn't have time, so busy. They need their hair done. They have somewhere to go in a half hour. They need a real quick blow dry, and I'm the girl they call. But it's getting so busy that I need to expand. So what I did was I purchased an RV, which is actually in the process of being serviced so that it can go get tricked out. And it's gonna be a full service hair salon that will pull up anywhere at any time. I would love to hire another stylist. I would love to hire another a makeup artist. I would love to hire a barber and a nail tech, all for my full service mobile salon. Hi, so I'm Danielle.
There you go.
And I am Styles You Desire. I started in 2013. As you saw, my son was diagnosed with autism, and I needed something to do. Although I was busy, I made it work. And this company came to mind when I realized I didn't have time to get my hair done and look pretty and be out with other moms and do, you know, mom things and hang out and stuff. So I took this opportunity to create something to give back to my community. I also do the working class. I have some lawyers, some doctors, some principals, and I love it. It's so therapeutic, not just for me, but for my clients. And I also decided I'm gonna expand. And with this expansion, I'm going to go to colleges. I'm gonna start doing wellness events. I wanna reach out to some of these men out there, give me a little barber, you know.
I thought you were going to raise your hand.
And I think the grant will definitely help me, especially with the RV being, the process of the RV being renovated as we speak, which I'm so excited about. Oh my God.
You could feel that energy.
Oh, thank you.
And Daniel, why don't you kick us off? I don't think you need a haircut, though.
I got my haircut today. I made a mistake. I love your passion, your commitment, and your charisma. You're already very successful. So two questions. How much does it cost to trick out an RV? And
Well, I got a little deal. Because I knew, when you network, you meet the right people. So it's about $5,000.
About $5,000. Okay, and then how are you making? Are you able to do this full time now?
I do this full time now. I had hired a business coach, and she helped me walk my way through quitting my job. Because I did go back to work for a little while, working in social work, and she helped me figure out how I can do this full time and dedicate all of my passion to my goals, And I did have to raise my prices. They're still affordable for the community, but it works. And my son is happy and I'm happy.
Shar, take us to the next question.
Yeah, so I'm sure you've obviously been looking at the numbers around health, health, beauty, hair, exactly, it's off the chart. So it's a really, really good idea. But in terms of the market that you're trying to serve right now, will this mobile unit will everybody travel around with you, or will they actually do, you're going to diversify the offerings, or how exactly is it going to be? I'm not clear.
I plan to do it as a package thing. So if you decide you want, I'm still going to do the in-home service. So if you decide that you don't want the in-home service and you would like to experience the salon in the mobile salon, it will be a little bit more, but it's going to be more in a package form. So it will definitely target any and everyone.
Ray?
Yeah, I think that this clearly makes you happy.
Yes.
in what you're doing here. It seems less to me like a haircutting service, though they think I need one. But
you're fine.
But I think that I think that it sounds to me like perhaps even a lifestyle thing. I mean, you want to help and support people, and it's more than just a haircut. Have you thought about getting into a lifestyle as opposed to just a haircut and do something broader with your idea? Because you certainly have the personality for it.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I have. I just haven't figured out exactly where I want to branch off to. This is more personal. And, I felt, every bit of what it feels like not to be able to go out to the salon, not to be able to take my child. So this is something I give back. And you should see some of the dads. They love it. Because I have little girls, too, little divas, that get their hair done. And their dads sit there and watch them get all pretty. So it makes the whole family happy, and it makes me happy.
Well, I can't wait to see this RV traveling down.
Oh, you'll be the
street.
first one.
Okay.
I'm going to email you.
I'm going to grow my hair out so I can get that treatment.
Brag. Go brag.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do.
You will be the first person I reach
Okay,
out to.
they heard that.
Yes.
Thanks for coming in.
You're welcome.
Great job.
Thank you. Also, the first, last, and only time you'll hear a bank executive say, tricking out. You going to trick that out? That was the first time you ever said it, right?
It flowed so easily off Daniel's tongue. I mean, it was...
That was impressive. All right. Next up is Hands Free Incorporated, maker of Quick Kicks hands-free shoes and their patented Step-In-Go technology.
Hi, I'm Steve Kaufman, founder and CEO of Hands Free LLC. So we started this journey many years ago when my son Alex developed scoliosis, which is a curvature of the spine. And he had to wear this huge torso brace to prevent the curve from getting worse. But it turns out it also prevented him from being able to bend over and put his shoes on. And after a while of my wife and I doing it for him every day, I had the idea, wouldn't it be nice if he had some shoes that he could just step into and they'd automatically fasten and he wouldn't have to bend over or use his hands? And that really started me on this journey to create hands-free shoes. So the mechanism is right here. Right now it's in the open position. It's on a spring-loaded hinge. And as the person steps into the shoe, it simply closes up and it securely fastens with a magnet. And to get out, they strike the heel on the floor and the momentum of the foot pops the back open so their foot slides right out. It's very easy. And as I did more and more research into the market, I could see that scoliosis brace wearers were just the tip of the iceberg. There are about 50 million people in the United States that struggle for various physical or cognitive reasons with putting on their own shoes. These people, have conditions such as Parkinson's disease or chronic back pain, debilitating arthritis. They could be hand and arm amputees, people struggling with obesity, cognitive issues like autism, people with multiple sclerosis, cerebral palsy. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, for example, one of the women who came to my trade show booth had a teenage son with autism, and she started crying because she said every morning she gets into an argument with her son because he wants to put his shoes on by himself and he gets frustrated when he can't. And this is just going to be a life-changing thing for them every day. So it's really having a profound impact on people's lives, much more so than I originally anticipated.
When you're ready.
Slip and fall accidents. They're a $34 billion drain on our healthcare system and a leading cause of death in older adults. And studies have shown that wearing non-securing footwear like flip-flops or bedroom slippers or going barefoot increases the risk of having a slip and fall accident by 1,000%. Hi, I'm Steve Kaufman, founder of Hands Free LLC. Several years ago, my son's condition inspired me to create Quick Kicks, the first fully supportive, totally hands-free operable footwear that allow people with various physical and cognitive challenges to easily step into the shoes and have them securely fastened without the need to bend over or use their hands, improving their quality of life, independence, self-esteem, and safety. Our patented hands-free footwear can help reduce slip and fall accidents by getting these vulnerable people into proper, securely fastening footwear as easily as those hazardous bedroom slippers, improving the safety and the caregiver's peace of mind. Now, we started selling Quick Kicks online, and we're already making a positive difference in people's lives, like 83-year-old Jerome with MS, who was able to put his shoes on independently for the first time in 20 years with his Quick Kicks. And winning the grant money will significantly help us grow our business. We would use $4,000 towards trade shows and $6,000 for an online marketing campaign to reach out not only to the people that need Quick Kicks, but to build our distribution network of healthcare practitioners and retail shoe retailers. Thank you very much.
Najara, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, it's an important part of the population we need to be dealing with, so thank you for that. So you were beyond prototype. Have you? Where are you marketing it right now, and who's your biggest?
We're selling online, predominantly D2C through quickkicks.com website. We have a handful of retailers and healthcare practitioners that we've signed on as resellers, but we're really looking to grow that network.
Daniel?
Great concept. I have a really bad back and have mornings where I can't tie my shoes, so I totally relate to this. Tell me about how you actually make them, what the production looks like and the cost, and ultimately where you want to go with this.
Sure. Well, currently the componentry for the hands-free mechanism is made in China, and then the footwear is assembled and made at a factory in Mexico. And as far as costs go, I mean, right now our landed cost in New York is approximately $60. Our MSRP is $249. We have margin built in for resellers, and we're looking to bring the cost of production down by looking at other production facilities. And ultimately, longer term, we want to build a distribution warehouse in the Bronx that will employ people with disabilities, provide sustainable employment for them.
Ray?
Have you looked at somebody to team with in terms of the distribution? It seems to me it's a great idea, but it's hard to build this as a person trying to set up. I think your market could be potentially so big, and that if you either partnered with someone or joint venture or even sold the distribution rights, it just seems to me that you would do fabulously.
I thought that too. And that was actually the original plan, was to develop the technology, get our patents, and license it to, say, an orthopedic footwear company. And I have tried that, and they're like, wow, Steve, this is great. I never saw anything like this. Sell 50,000 pair and prove out the market, and then give us a call. And we'll be happy to sit at the table with you. So they're looking to really de-risk the whole situation and want me to prove out a market first. Because this is a new disruptive technology and they're trying to de-risk their whole situation. So that's where I'm at now. I think longer term, it could be a licensing play, but we got to prove out the market first ourselves.
Okay.
Well, I hope that there is a longer term, and your commitment to the city and not only to your own son, but to others who are in need is really admirable. And thank you for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And we have one shoe per leg if anybody's interested. Not sure what size that is. Thanks very much. All right, we're down rounding to the final two. Up next is Gin Gin Brothers, a Harlem-based beverage company that develops and brings to market traditional African beverages.
So Ginger was started by my brother and I, and the whole idea behind it is to develop and bring to market traditional African food and beverage products. We started out with a ginger-based drink that is very popular in West Africa, and the specific ginger drink is something that we loved drinking growing up. We pretty much had it at every occasion, and we found that we could not find a high enough quality version of the tea. Although there are a bunch of African markets that make it and sell it, we which the food quality is inconsistent, and essentially you will not find it anywhere in the traditional American supermarket, if you will. And we thought that that's a shame, so we set out to change that. We started knocking on people's food doors, and that process took us about 8 months. They rejected us 3 times. They like every time they say, hey, we don't like this about the label, we don't like this, and we'll go reiterate, come back and say, how about now? And we actually even started involving them in the process. We redesigned the label and emailed to our contacts. What do you think of it? Give us some feedback, since you're in the space. And we essentially got to a point where they could not say no to us. Producing our hot bread is one of the best things to happen to us. It saved us a lot of money. We literally could not have done it if we didn't have a co-working space we could work out of. So our background, my brother, academically, he comes out of from a business background. He worked in the financial services for a while, and currently he's working for financial, an insurance tech startup out here in New York City. And me myself, my background is in engineering. So I'm a material science engineer by training. An undergrad I did biomaterial engineering at Michigan State. And for grad school, I had a fellowship to do my master's in France and Germany. And I focused on electrochemical devices, fuel cells, batteries, and the likes. So my brother and I are very entrepreneurial. We've always been. We always knew that we wanted to start a business. We had a long list of things we wanted to do. Beverage, the food space was not really something that was at the top of that list. But once we identified this need and the desire to represent our community, if you will, it made us just up and go and do it. Hello, my name is Brahim. I'm the co-founder of Ginger Brothers along with my brother Mohammed. We're a New York-based beverage company that develops and brings to market traditional African beverages. Our motivation for doing this are manifold, but the primary one, the one that keeps us going, is the desire to build food processing facilities on the African continent. And if you think about it, a lot of the food waste that happens out here in the West happens at the point of consumption. Things we throw out of our fridges. But back there, most of it happens at the point of production, harvesting, storing, distributing it. And we're hoping that through we can use our brand as a vehicle and build a bunch of brands under that to start getting our products from there, processing it there, selling it locally, and thereby making accessibility to food a little more abundant and a little cheaper, right? But before we can do that, in fact, we've actually had even the government of Tanzania reach out to us, hoping that we can take some ginger off their hands once they found out about us. But before we can do that, we need to crush it here in the United States first. As you saw on the video there, we're using a very, very rudimentary manual processes. So if you win these 10 grand, the way we'll use it is we'll spend a portion of the money to buy an automatic juicer so that we don't have to wash and cut and peel every lemon manually. We use a portion of the money to buy a high-end video equipment, so that like a camera, so that we can create better content and better tell our story to distribute on social media. And that's it.
Good thing.
I have more samples for the rest of you. After the show.
Who wants to kick us off? I'm busy drinking.
I'll start. Who are you working?
Nothing new there.
Who are you working with in Tanzania?
So we just started talking to them. They literally reached out to us. They found us online somehow out of the blue. And they mentioned that in the region where Mount Kilimanjaro is, they have tons of really high quality organic ginger that grows there. And it goes to waste all the time. The country I'm from, Guinea, we have the best, highest quality tropical fruits you've ever had anywhere, right? But every year, tons of mangoes, pineapples, oranges, you name it, goes to waste. You go to the countryside, you literally find it like rotten on the ground, right? So we think that through this, we can use it as a vehicle to start processing it there. We're not interested in just buying the raw material and extracting it out of the continent. We want to build it there and share some of the best practices we've learned for our own brand with some of the local artisans, so that they themselves can start producing and making their own brands beyond just ours.
Regardless of how this ends up, we might be able to help you with that, the college that I'm part of has a consulting institute, and we've done work for the government of Tanzania.
Great.
And still are doing it now. So there's a possibility if you're interested in that.
Absolutely, thank you.
We could talk.
My brother actually went to Mercy College, so. Yeah.
We got a commercial for Mercy here.
Yeah, no kidding.
The product's awesome. I love Hot Burn
Thank you so
Kitchen.
much.
Tell me about how are you doing killing it here? Are you making money? Are you working at this full time?
Sure.
How's it going?
So it's just my brother and I when we started this out. We were doing it full time. My brother had a full time job. I shelved my engineering degree to do this. And when I first came back, I was managing a bar because I worked in that industry for a long time, just so I can have the flexibility to do this. I still bartend, right? And we're still doing this. We have a distributor for the whole tri-state area that have a footprint all the way down to the Carolinas. We're in Whole Foods, we're in Fresh Direct, but we're extremely limited in terms of what we can do, not just on the production side, but also in accessing capital so that we can have field marketing.
How have you financed it so far?
We bootstrapped it. We won a couple of grants, and our own money. You know, when we started out, the day we said we were gonna do it, I had about $20 to my name. So we'd work at the end of every week, pay all of our expenses, put our money together, and say, what can we buy with this? And we'll do that until we got a final product and started knocking on doors and selling it.
So you're going to crush it in Tanzania with our friends' help from
Absolutely.
Mercy, clearly. But as far as crushing it here, are you actually generating revenue now?
So we launched in July of 2015, and we said the first year or two we just want to figure out what we're doing. We knew nothing about the beverage space, and since launching we've done a little over 150K in sales, and yeah, that's where we are. We're not profitable, and we're far from being profitable. And as this scales out, it'll take a while before we are. But we've done enough to feel like we have a proof of concept on our end that can really scale.
Well, congratulations on cracking Whole Foods and Fresh Direct, and I hope there's so many more.
Thank you very much.
And I love it. It's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, our final small business for the night is Van Duzer Artisan Market.
Van Duzer Artisan Market is the destination for local and handmade gifts. The inspiration literally came from my mom, this amazing woman. She taught me how to sew at 8 years old. That seed that my mother planted in me at 8 years old literally is the inspiration for Van Duzer Artisan Market. So my mom, she's an amazing woman. Naomi, she is the one who taught me to be strong, independent. She taught me to use my hands and my resources in a creative way.
And I told her, I said, you have something special to give. And she was always sharing, always caring, always doing things for people. She was just a very outgoing young lady. And she still is. And where she is now, I am just so proud of her that I'm lost for words. She's such a wonderful, wonderful person. And anyone that can be in touch with her, that come across her, are blessed.
What is so unique about Van Duzer Artisan Market is not only is it a gift shop and community space to do workshops, it also is sort of like an incubator for entrepreneurs, meaning the products that's going to be sold in the retail space, I'm looking for local vendors and artisans to actually make the products, and they're going to be sold there.
Well, Jessica is actually a really great friend more than anything else. She was one of our very first customers, and when she approached us with her creativity workshops, we were very eager to help her.
I really believe that she would be a great person to run the artisan market, just because she herself is so creative, and also she is able to interact with people so easily.
This means everything to me. Since I was a little girl, I always envisioned owning my own business, actually. I just knew something within myself. I knew I was going to be an entrepreneur. I just didn't know what it would be, but I always knew I wanted to help others in an untraditional way. And this would mean so much, not only to me, but to my community, because they're going to have a space of refuge, a place of creativity, a place they could learn to meet other people and express themselves. So the vision is so much more bigger than me. ever had to scramble last minute for a gift? And I'm talking about not any old gift, a gift that is unique, a gift that is stylish, that is for the person that you're giving it to. Yeah, that's me. Or are you a person that's creative and you need a space to create and sell your goods? Well, I'm Jessica Encarnacion, and I am the owner and founder of Van Duzer Artisan Market, which is the destination for local handcrafted gifts. We offer an eclectic selection of handcrafted goods ranging from jewelry, accessories, home decor, art, all the way to bath and body products. All also made by local artisans in New York and throughout the United States. What makes Van Duzer Artisan Market so unique is that we offer a community space for people to create, to sell their goods, to gather, to have meetups, and also to have hands-on workshops in areas such as painting, photography, sewing, quilting, you name it, anything to do with your hands. Our mission at Van Duzer Artisan Market is to plant the seed of creativity in our community, plant the seed of entrepreneurship, just like what my mother did for me. She taught me how to sew at 8 years old, and I want to pass that on to other people. So with your help, we can plant this transformational shop in our communities and eventually yours. Thank you.
Thank you. My auntie taught me how to sew at 6, so I love it. Yep, I'm there. So where is your shop now?
Right now, I'm actually popped up in the cafe. Veronica, she's the co-owner. She is awesome. She let me actually set up the workshops there. That cafe is literally across the street from where my old apartment was, where I learned how to sew at 8 years old.
And so this $10,000, you get it. What would you do with it?
Oh my gosh, that is going to be for the shop, to get that physical shop going in our community. And also the marketing materials, website, you name it, everything to get everything going for a physical location.
Have you done the budget to make sure that everything will work out?
Yes, it'll definitely add into the rent cost, which is the most important. As far as inventory and goods is not a problem because I'm going to do a lot of consignment deals with the artisans, so I don't have to really worry about that. Low cost.
Yeah, great energy, great passion. We love Staten Island here.
Oh, you do?
Four judges
Okay.
here. So I see opportunities for the sales piece and then also the creative piece. Where will you make money? I mean, are people willing to pay for that experience to learn
Yes.
something? Or is that the opportunity, or is it more selling?
It's actually both. The combination with the workshops, the hands-on workshops, especially for the children. I work in the after-school program, and the children need a lot of places to go, and some parents cannot afford to go to the YMCA per se, but they can maybe afford a $20 workshop for a few hours. They can sit with their child, or they can leave the child there for 2 hours with, the proper assistance. And the child is active. And also the retail end of it, we're going to have the gifts. So the gifts it's always a excellent point where you can make money. Natural body products. We're gonna have stationery, gift wrapping, you name it, everything there. So it's a little bit of both, I feel.
Dean, you're going to take us home. Wrap this up.
I just want to ask, what's 5 years from now, you look back on this, and you're very, very happy. What did you do?
In 5 years, I want to plant at least 5 locations throughout the 5 boroughs. From there, I would like to expand and go throughout the states and plant a shop. So each shop in each state or each borough would be unique to where it's located, which is nice. It's going to celebrate artisans, which is really cool.
Wow, that's great. Great job.
Thank you.
Appreciate your commitment to the city, to Staten Island, and just so many people that you make happy. Thank you for coming in tonight.
Thank you.
That's 9 for 9. How about another round of applause for all of our contestants who did a fabulous job.
Hey, Ben?
Yes, sir.
We have a tough one tonight.
Yes, you do.
We have a tough one. This is going to be like herding cats among these guys. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Okay?
Right, so for our YouTube stream folks hanging with us, we will be back in a few. Judges will go back and deliberate, and we will award $10,000 this evening to one of our 9 contestants. All right, back in a few. It's on now.
Conti.
If you can finally find your seats, they are actually signing the check.
Christian, where do you want the check?
Yeah. All right, welcome back. Glad you're here. Hope you hung in there. We do have a winner. Our judges have gotten together and they have made a decision. And this is my favorite part because I am in complete and total control. So let's go one at a time. How's the family? Are you guys in a rush to get somewhere this evening? All right. I don't know who the winner is, so I can't announce it. So you will have to do that. But congratulations once again to all of you. I say this, first of all, I hope, one of the things that we have learned over doing this, several times is that the contestants themselves actually become very close during the process because you share in, all the nervousness and putting the videos together, and there are connections that are made. And we have had business connections made just between the contestants. So from that perspective alone, I hope you made some new friends here tonight. I hope you learned, a little bit about yourself in terms of, making a pitch, because doing it here is a great way to, before you go before our banker and make the pitch for some money, or if you've got a business in Tanzania, Mercy College. So, I think that's great. So thank you again. Okay, I'm all set, Rob.
Wow,
Drum roll?
The drum roll is right. This has been the toughest of the 7, without a doubt. And I want to thank the judges for your patience and going over this and let's give a big round of applause to Daniel Majare, Ray, for doing all the work here tonight. And we really had a long discussion in that back room. And I tell you, because of the presentations tonight, there was no one counted out, and we just kept going back and forth. So with all that said, we have an interesting proposition tonight.
I know, but you are on YouTube. Would you come back in front of the camera, please?
I am. I can't help it. I'm walking around, and I just keep walking around. I can't help myself. But
sorry, YouTube.
The winner tonight, and we also have a proposition. Daniel, you may want to share this you might want to come up on stage with me and help me out on this. But the winner tonight, are you ready for this? Is Hylas. Shamir, would you come up on stage, please? Judges, come on up. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And we also have a proposition that Daniel Delahunty wants to make.
Well, since I'm in need of Styles, Styles, you are our sort of 1A, And there are many of us here on stage who will help you secure some financing to take that next step, and also some services. And you've got TAP here too, who can provide some business services. So don't leave without talking to us, because you're onto something. You're going to trick it out.
There's just a phenomenal job all around by this special group of 9 people, special people that really are making a difference in this city and the metropolitan area. One more round of applause for all our finalists today. Thank you for spending our night. And to you, what would you like to say?
Thank you, and good luck on everyone's business, and don't stop, keep pursuing and persisting. Yeah.
You're all part of this too. You didn't get up to make the presentation, but you had a big smile out there when it was announced.
Yeah, I'm Shivani. I'm the other co-founder of Hylas. We're grateful just to have the opportunity to be here and share what we're doing with everybody, and really get to know what everyone else is up to. And just like we said, you just gotta keep trying, keep going.
Ben, it's
Very
back
cool.
to you.
Congratulations, really, very. Don't try to cash that. That's not going to work, right? On behalf of 1010 Wins, Canon Maxify Printers Small Business Challenge, Bridgehampton National Bank, and Mercy College. Our next Small Business Grant Challenge is when, Mark Brzezinski? December 6th. December 6th. So you feel free to enter again, and we'll see you then. And thank you again. Have a wonderful evening.
Great job all around. Thank our judges. Great job.
Claire, you're off?
Yep.
Claire.